You're listening to KTWR, utilizing DRM technology. We are broadcasting on the frequency of 15390 kHz in the 19-meter bands. This is KTWR, Agana, Guam, speaking hope to the world because hope knows no barriers.
Hi, friends at fellow DXer. This is your favorite DX program, DXer's Diary, and I'm your friend and host, Arun Kumar Narasimhan from Chennai in India. We have been broadcasting this 5-minute weekly DX digest since January 2021 for the benefit of DXers, amateur radio operators across the world. Since this show was started, I have been striving to provide you with a lot of useful information by splitting this show into various segments, including one that provides updates on sunspot number, SFI forecast, and the air index. This week's sunspot number is 90. The SFI forecast ranges from 120 to 130. The air index ranges from 14 to 32. Moving on to news from radio station section, we have news about Vatican Radio. On June 19, 2025, Pope Leo XV visited Santa Maria di Galleria in the extraterritorial area where the shortwave radio center of Vatican Radio Dicastery for communication is located. The Pope met with the staff with whom he stayed and interacted, visited the transmitter hall and sat in the control room for shortwave. The Pope inquired about the functioning of the antennas, the broadcast, and the digital disaster recovery system, and celebrated to discuss his 43rd anniversary priesthood, which fell on that day. The pontiff emphasized how, during his missionary work in Latin America and Africa, it was invaluable to be able to receive the shortwave broadcast of Vatican Radio, which reached places where few stations are able to, and he reaffirmed the missionary value of communication. It may be noted that Radio Center was inaugurated by Pope Pius XII in 1957. The last visit by a Pope to the Radio Center in the area of Santa Maria di Galleria was in the year 1991 when John Paul II went there. Vatican Radio, which is the Pope's radio, was officially inaugurated on the 12th of February 1931 with Pope Pius XI delivering the first ever radio message by a Pope. That was 2 years and a day after the birth of Vatican City State on February 11, 1921, following the signing of the Lateran Pact between the Holy See and the Kingdom of Italy. Just 4 days after the creation of Vatican City, Pope Pius XI officially commissioned the famous Italian-born radio pioneer Guglielmo Marconi to build the radio station inside the new state. The first signal that was sent out from Vatican Radio was on February 12, 1931. However, it was transmitted as Morse code. A technician typed the words, and I repeat, in nomine Domini Amen, the Latin for the name of the Lord Amen. It was just an alert message. At that very instant, radio stations, ships, and anyone who had proper equipment received the preliminary message and read it as the first ever papal radio message. It fell to Guglielmo Marconi to introduce the message to the Pope. Speaking in Italian, Marconi said, "I have the highest honor of announcing that in only a matter of seconds, the Supreme Pontiff Pope Pius XI will inaugurate the radio station of Vatican City. The electric radio waves will carry his words of peace and blessing across the world." Then came Pope Pius XI. The time was 4:49 p.m. local time on the February 12, 1931. Pope Pius XI thus became the first pontiff in history to address the world on the radio. The rich text of the first papal radio message was written in Latin by Pius XI himself. It was a universal pastoral message addressed to everyone, sharing the church's message of peace and love, and saying his prayers were with the entire people of the world. In the service of 8 popes so far, Vatican Radio has grown phenomenally since its inception, when it was solely Pope's loudspeaker to the world. Because of expansion, the programming sector, the subsequent increase in personnel, Vatican Radio in 1970 moved just outside the Vatican City to its present headquarters in Rome, in a building called Palazzo Bio. Following the communications reform of Pope Francis, Vatican Radio is now part of the Dicastery for communication. Dear listeners, we have been receiving many reception reports from DXers across the world, and I would like to sincerely thank all of you for taking your valuable time to listen to DXer's Diary and mailing us your reception reports. Friends, we have reached the end of the show now. Please do not forget to send your reception reports and fund scans to dxersdiary@gmail.com. I repeat, it's dxersdiary@gmail.com. Until next week, this is your friend and host, Arun Kumar Narasimhan, signing off. 73. Bye-bye.